for the company. He's one of, if not the highest rated speaker and trainer that we have. So a few things about Jim Bob you may or may not know. He's a husband to a superhero wife. I can attest to that because she married him. She's a total superhero. Father to 5 amazing kids. He's a super geek about all things physiology. Classically trained as a chiropractor, but also just always curious, always learning about physiology, the human body, how our products work, how to live well. He's a Crown Diamond leader at Young Living, and he's the founder of the Essential Oil Club. So most of all, I think when you spend time with Jim Bob, what sets him apart, not only is he obviously very, very smart, but he's passionate about people and seeing them live their life to their fullest potential. And that's not always something you get in combination to knowledge about physiology and about the body. So I think his combination is really unique and really special, and we're really, really lucky to have him. He's one of the most engaging presenters that I've ever heard, and he's really good at making health simple and fun because he believes there's nothing it's worth nothing to achieve success in life if you're not healthy, to enjoy it when you get there, which I think is absolutely true. Favorite quotes from Jim are, health is simple, it's just not easy. Isn't that the truth? And pray like everything depends on God and work like everything depends on you, I think is really good advice that Jim Bob also shared with us. So really thrilled to have Jim Bob with us this morning. Think the world of Jim Bob and his family. We're really grateful to have him a part of our Young Living family and community. And without gilding the lily any further, I'm going to turn the time over to Dr. Jim Bob Haggerton.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ben. I appreciate it. And man, I'm super honored to be on this call and to get to present to you guys. It is always a joy for me to get to speak because I like to talk a ton. So when they text me and they're like, hey, would you like to talk on the corporate call on Monday? I think I literally responded to Melinda and I was like, well, I like to talk, so sure. That would be amazing. And, the topic today is one that I'm really passionate about as well because, like Ben said, I love people and I love seeing people really hit their potential, and that's in health, but also in mindset. And mindset is so huge for what each of us are going to achieve because depending on where your mindset is, it's a limiting factor on where you're going to go or whatever. So as I was talking about it, though, I'm talking to Cindy, my wife, and I was talking to some other leaders. I'm like, man, what has not been covered on mindset and what hasn't already been talked about or hasn't already been taught? And I was really thinking about, what mindset is and what it is compared to other things that we've really covered. And I think that there are some things and some assumptions that we make about mindset that make it easy for us to get frustrated when we've got goals, whether it's for our health or our relationships or our businesses and Young Living. And I think really resetting those assumptions and understanding what mindset truly is and how we can affect it and how we can change it is key for us to be able to get to the next level and us to be able to, again, hit our potential of everything that we're created to really do, right? So, that's one thing. I want to give you some different things about mindset. Then I'm going to give you some tips on how to improve your mindset if you, like many of us, are finding yourself in a place, like all of us have found ourselves, where your mindset really isn't matching up or the results from your mindset really aren't matching up with where you want to be. And so we're going to talk about how to improve it. When you look back even at Scripture, the original playbook, it says in Colossians 3:2, it says, set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. And I love that, just like in Romans 12:2, where it says, be transformed by the renewal of your mind, not the renewal of your stomach or your adrenal glands or your liver. I mean, it talks about the mind and how important it is because everything starts with a thought and everything starts with the mind. The thing I thought was interesting, though, is when you look up mindset and you look at, what is mindset exactly? What's the definition that they use in mindset when personal development trainers are teaching? In mindset, the actual definition that they use is an established set of attitudes, which I love. So the established set of attitudes is different than my attitude this morning getting up and getting my kids ready for school, or my attitude about traffic when I was in traffic yesterday or whatever. Like, it is an established set of attitudes that a person holds and a person really operates their life out of. And I love that because mindset is that. It is something that you have set your mind on. So a visual that I did really quick, like just wrote up for you guys, is like this. Like, your mindset is literally something that is like overarching. It's this bigger concept of how you live your life. We're going to talk about something that plays into that huge. underneath that come down the different attitudes that you have learned over time, and that through experience and through life experience or through education or mentoring or your community that have come to be attitudes that you really operate out of. But they all come underneath mindset. So if you have, a growth mindset, if you have a service mindset, then there are specific attitudes that'll match up with that. Now, the problem comes in is when you say, oh, well, I really love people and I have this huge service mindset, or I have this growth mindset of I want to get better in my health, or I want to get better in my marriage, or I want to grow my Young Living business, but then the attitudes down here and the actions don't match up to the mindset that you say you're having. You can really pick out what someone's mindset is by seeing the attitudes and the actions that are coming out of them every single day. And they don't lie. It's like we talk about statistics never lie. Well, attitudes and actions don't lie, and they're going to show what your mindset really truly is. I think that one of the things that creates frustration for people is I think that the wrong assumption a lot of people have is that mindset is something that's more flippantly just done like, what, I'm gonna choose to have a good mindset today. Well, but that it's not that simple, and it's not that easy. It's not either of those. Mindset goes back to the point of identity. Mindset, you have to really back up and you go, okay, why do I feel this way? Like, why are these attitudes coming out of me? Why do I react that way? Why do I feel like this consistently over time? Because that has to come out of a mindset that you have set and you have established over years of your life or over time of the different experiences that you've had. So you really have to go back, like, what is my identity? Example, if we're looking back at this little graphic right here, this little simple graphic, if you are trying to establish new habits or you're trying to establish new attitudes, let's say like around weight loss and around fitness or around health, and you start trying new things in your life, but your identity isn't set on you believing that you are worth being healthy, or you believing that you are worth success in your business, or you believing that you're worthy of people following you as a leader, then no matter how you add in a couple of these things, the mindset doesn't line up with your identity, you won't sustain that change for long. You can't. Because as human beings, we are designed to not do things for long, but go against who we are as humans. Go against what our identity is. Like, your body will literally shut you down and you won't be able to do that. So for some of you guys, like, you're like, you know what, I've tried mindset changes. I've done this. I've gone to the seminar. I've bought the book. I've got the t-shirt. I wear my little mindset hat all the time, and it's really not doing any good. Well, for that person, I would say, you know what? We need to back up and figure out what's the identity shift and what's the identity wall or block that's not allowing you to make those changes, because it's inhibiting all of the different mindset, all the momentum that you should be getting in each of these areas of your life. So a couple of things I want to point out about mindset that I love is really important. I'm going to pull in some stuff from Brendon Burchard, because he's the premier personal development coach in the world today, and I love his teaching on high performance habits. But there's 3 or 4 different things that I think are really key about mindset and on how it gets there, right? On how it gets there, so that you understand better how we can improve it, right? Because that is the great thing. Like, whatever your mind is set on, I mean, like, think of this cup that I have. Whatever this cup is set on, I can move it and set it on something else, all right? Which is huge, and that's amazing, but there's some things we've got to understand first about that setting and about your mind being set on something for us to be able to improve it, right? Number 1 is that mindset is very intentional. Like, you intentionally build, right? You intentionally build or set your mind on things that are important to you, your mind on things that motivate and drive you. You're intentional about that. And if you're not, then you will not have the mindset that you think you do, and you won't have the activities or the action or the repetitive attitudes that you really want. Like, you won't get the crop that you want if you don't intentionally plant the seeds for that specific crop. You understand? Like if Gary Young didn't plant specific seeds in the ground, we would not get specific oils in the bottle. It's the same with mindset. Like it's very much the same, and it is a very linear concept that really matches up together with both. So it doesn't get there by itself. Think about your decorations in your home, okay? Like, think about if you walked into someone's home and it's like really like decorated really well, and it's really designed, and you walk in, you go, oh man, this is beautiful. Like, they don't say, the homeowner doesn't say, your friend doesn't go, yeah, I don't really know how I got there. That's crazy. Yeah, I like that too. It just happened to like fall on the shelf like that. That's not what they say. When you walk into someone's home that is immaculately decorated, you know and you can feel and you can tell that they set those things there with care and with intentionality. They're like, hey, I want that couch there. I want that painting there. I want that lamp there, whatever it is, because they have a vision for how they want the space and how they want you coming into it to feel. They've already preset it. They've already looked ahead, and so they have intentionally set those things there. Okay? Now, going into this section later on, I'm not going to jump ahead, but if they don't like it, if they don't like the setting, then later on they can change it. They can move around the furniture. If you're like my wife, you like the furniture to move around quite a bit, right? Or the whole house for that matter. Like you're going to change it around because you want to find the setting that works best for you, that matches your identity, but also matches the feeling that you want in that room and in your life when people are around you. Isn't it the same? It's the same for us. Like it's the same if we walk into Walmart or the grocery store at all. For you to be able to be around people, like this is your setting. This is your decor, and however you set it is how people are going to see it, and it's how it's going to make them feel. So it doesn't get there by itself. It's different than attitude. Again, like mindset is a set of attitudes, right? So over time, all of these attitudes get grouped into this one mindset, but the mindset is the overarching umbrella. All of the attitudes fall underneath there, and again, you can develop attitudes over time by being consistent with that, being with the intentionality, so that you can then like get the action and get the actual reward from what your mindset is set on, right? Other thing is you either are going to set it yourself or someone else is going to set it for you. I think one of the most damaging things that happens is when a lot of us are younger or before we got around a wild family and amazing friends and people in your organizations that teach us these things and like keep us accountable on being better as human beings. You know, someone told you and put a mindset in your way about health or about how you looked or about whether you were worthy of abundance and having extra money to support your family or not, or education or whatever it is. When we are kids, our parents and the people around us set a lot of value, they set a lot of identity, and they set a lot of mindset on us because that's part of their job. Now, some of them did a great job, some of them didn't do so awesome. Again, the great thing is understanding that if I don't like where the furniture is, I can move it and I can change it, but it takes the intentionality of it that we can get to the new place where we really need to be. We'll talk about that in just a minute, all right? Second thing about mindset is that it doesn't take a day off. Here's one thing I see all the time with people. They're like, I have a growth mindset. I really want to be healthy, or I really want to lose weight on Monday, and then on Tuesday and Wednesday, they forget about that mindset, and they don't revisit the mindset, and they think that once they set it there, they never need to dust around it, like that lamp in the corner or like the potted plant on your piano. Well, it doesn't mean that once you set it there, it's a set it and forget it thing. It's a set it and revisit it over and over and over and over. One, to improve upon it and for us to understand whether it's going well or not. Like, is this really going? Is my life, is my health journey, is my fitness plans, are all these things going the way that I really want them to? Or do I need to make a course correction? Do I need to change my mindset? Do I need to change the furniture to be more where I want to be and where I need to be and where my family and friends need me to be in order to be the best for them, right? So it's an everyday, daily thing of multiple times a day going in and reevaluating. Hey, is this still me? Is this still a part of my identity and my mindset? And if it's not you, then change it. You know, making the steps to start to change it, to improve, or to get that mindset where you want and need to be. Third thing is it does not depend on feelings. Oh man, like, you know, a lot of this is personality driven. I know, like different color personalities will respond to this differently. But I think that we as human beings, again, we are pleasure-seeking, missiles. Like we want to go to things that feel good. We don't want to go to things that don't feel good. But mindset, just like identity, has nothing to do with feelings. Like your fitness journey or your health journey has very little to do with how good it feels. You know, a couple of years ago, I shattered this leg. I had a benign tumor that had grown in this femur, and I broke this leg. Long story. Well, over the course of the last couple of years of rehab and therapy and all the things that I've done to get back to functional for my family and my kids, most of it didn't feel good. Like But that doesn't mean that it wasn't important to the process. That doesn't mean that it wasn't a necessary part of the journey for me to get back to who and to become who I was supposed to be as a husband and as a father and as a leader of our team, right? So a lot of the things that we're going to do won't feel good. A lot of the conversations we need to have with that mindset don't feel good. You know, Ben said something a while ago that I'm going to change a little bit. He said, man, it's super easy to share product with your friends. Well, yeah, if you understand the product and if you don't worry about what people think and you haven't had any bad experiences with people, it's super easy. Just share things with everybody you know. If you don't care what they think when you pull it out of your purse and you have like a thieves household cleaner thing in your purse all day, you know, if you're going to be that person, don't worry about it. The other people, it isn't easy. Now, it is simple though. This is why my thing about health is simple is just not easy. It applies to all the things, but sharing the product is very simple. Hi, so-and-so, you clean your house. Yes, I have a product that is better for you to clean your house. You should try it. That's very simple. It's not easy all the time, but it gets easier if your mindset is set so that you know that it is imperative and it is necessary for you to share with them because you don't want them to miss out. And that's the next thing that I wanted to talk about that I think that we miss and that we leave out on our assumptions about mindset is that one of the things that is the most important about having a really good functioning growth mindset, if you want to call it that, is necessity / urgency. The people with the best mindset don't give themselves another option. For example, when I was healing off of this leg and I have another tumor I have to have surgery on the end of this month, here's the deal. Mindset isn't set in the middle of a struggle. You don't go, oh my gosh, all these things are happening and good or bad. Like, we're in the middle of a storm. I should change my mindset. It's too late. Mindset is already established. It's the foundation of the home before the storm hits. How well you weather it depends on how well you set your mindset and all of the attitudes that you stuck in that mindset bucket. So before I started the rehab on this leg, my mindset was that there was no option on whether or not I was going to walk again. There was no option on whether or not I was going to be functional for my kids again. There was absolutely no option on those things. Now, was I going to get to 100% function? No, like there's limitation in the leg, but there was no option on that because the necessity of being able to be there for my kids and my family and my team was high enough. This is the same in anything. There's no option for you on health. You need to get healthy. The necessity is high because the healthier you are, the more you can serve people around you. That's it. You need to share the product with your people. The necessity is urgent. If they don't get that kit, this is my mindset on sharing kits and teaching classes. If I don't get that person to get a kit, it has nothing to do with my OGB, has nothing to do with my organizational size. If they don't get that kit, I know that they are missing out not only on product that could and will change their life, but they are missing out on a community and they're missing out on a family that comes out of that box that they have no idea about. Like they have no clue. They have no clue what's coming out of that box. And it is my, I don't want to say job because people hate that. It is my duty as someone who cares about people to get them that kit. It's that urgent. And if it's that urgent for us in every area of our life, there's no way that we won't hit it. Okay. So a couple of things about improving your mindset and things to change. Really, the number one step to improving your mindset is acknowledging that you don't have a great mindset. Like going, I don't really like the way that couch looks. Yeah, you're right. Let's move the couch. Well, being open to people speaking into you and going, hey, look, your mindset is a little stinky. Let's improve it a little bit. Whether it's with journaling or doing different things, I am pumped that we have the option of using essential oils to be able to affect our brain and our emotions. That makes that transition easier. It makes it simpler because we're able to work through things so much better from an emotional standpoint, but that's huge. Don't leave that out. Second thing is really going through an internal shift, again, journaling or having people speak into you with an external focus. So it's an internal shift of going, you know what, I don't think my mindset's where it needs to be, with an external focus of who needs me to be better? Am I serving the people around me as well as I should? Am I serving my family?
This
Am I
will go past
serving
an
my
hour.
people in the job place? Am I serving my team? Am I serving Team YL?
Mm-hmm.
Am I serving Young Living the way that I should based on the giftings that the Lord has really blessed me with? And if not, like taking note of that and going, you know what? It's time for a shift. It's time to move the couch and getting it to a place where it needs to be. And then the third one is that constant evaluation of going back every day and going, okay, like the accountability of yourself, of going back and looking at your journal or writing it on the mirror in your bathroom and saying, okay, this is where I want my mindset to be. These are the attitudes that go with that mindset. And what do I need to do to get there? And consistently doing it over time. That's the thing. That's the change. Dr. Caroline Leaf says that in order to change brain pathways, because of the way that the brain works, you need 62 days of consistent action and consistent thought processes for it to change. So in order for you to change your mind, to reset your mind, you need to plan on like 2 to 3 months of consistently actively choosing to think about better things and to focus on the things that are going to get you to the next level. You guys are awesome. I appreciate so much having time to pour into you guys and to be able to share with you. I pray super abundance on you and your families, and that you get your mind set to the things that are going to rock your world and your business and your family's life.
Wow, that was awesome. Fast and furious. So much good there. Thank you, Dr. Jim Bob, per usual, for your gems, your wisdom. I picked up a ton from what he shared. A few things that jumped out to me. I think, first of all, the most important work that we do is in the 6 inches between our ears. And I love the idea that I can choose my furniture. Move it around, rearrange it, throw it out if I have to, but that I choose the furniture in my mind. And then also I like the idea of dusting my mindset. Set it and revisit it over and over and over and over again. It's not something where I just set it and be in a positive place and then I'm done. I can just go on to the next. It really is something we have to revisit every single day. You mentioned 62 days of consistency, so I think that's a good goal of just kind of choosing what we allow to stay and what we don't allow, what we discount, what we get rid of, and staying in a very, very happy, positive place. Another thing I thought was powerful, my feelings don't have to impact my mindset. That's too often we kind of put the two together. We say, I'm not feeling well, so this is where my mindset's going to be. And our mindset can be completely independent of that. And setting your foundation so you're ready for the storms that come in life. And doing the work now so that we're ready. If we start setting the foundation when the storm hits, it's too late. We're not in a good place. Versus setting the mindset right now. And Jim Bob's great because, as you heard from his, and knowing Jim Bob, Cynthia, his family, I know what they've been through, and I know how he has had, he's not just telling you, do as I say, he's saying, do as I do, seeing what he's gone through with his rehabilitation with his leg, and the personal trials that they've had in their family. It's really inspirational, and he knows what he's talking about. So I really appreciate Jim Bob sharing that today. So this kind of wraps up our weekly dose of valor. Hopefully you got a little bit of valor today.